deals. Fastball hit in the air to left field. That's deep. Back goes Chavez back near the wall, leaping, and he made the catch. He took a home run away from Roland, trying to get back to first Edmonds. He's doubled off, and the inning is over. Andy Chavez saved the day. Eli throwing into traffic on the sideline. They're going to rule it a catch by Manningham.
Sanchez, corner of the end zone. Punt! For the second time today, Santonio Holmes on the receiving end of a touchdown. This one with 10 seconds to play.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Back out of the weekend into a holiday. Happy President's Day from WHPC Sports Talk. Coming to you on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It's a holiday, like I said, but still got to work. That's myself, Joshua Yamahi, joined by Eric Williams and Franz Compare. How we doing this today, fellas? How we doing?
You want to start, Eric?
The roads are empty.
Yeah.
No traffic.
Station's empty, too.
Yeah. Nice and quiet.
I don't mind it.
I had a great lift to start my day. Went to the gym. Yeah, I'm feeling productive. You want to do some Uber Eats later?
You went to the gym too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the gym too.
Feeling nice and strong.
I'm trying to go tonight. Y'all got the leg up on me, though. It's all good. Well, 516-572-7440. That's the number to join the conversation. Going to start off, obviously, with the All-Star Game festivities, the weekend, the whole thing. Catching a lot of slam there. We're going to get into that. Also, Daniel Jones wants how much from the Giants?
Give it to him.
The Cowboys fan wants Daniel Jones to get 45 of them things per year. We'll definitely get into that. But callers, listeners, don't be afraid. Don't be shy. You can call up about anything. You can call up about baseball. I know pretty much every team's in spring training. Obviously, we got a lot of Mets and Yankees fans out there. You control the show. You can call up, talk about whatever. I'm not going to... No, I don't discriminate. How about that? Let's get into it, though.
Neither does Karl Malone.
No, he's standing firm in it, too. We were talking about it pre-show. That's a bad guy right there. But that's why you don't have an all-star weekend in Salt Lake City, Utah. So it'll make everybody... the old thing, like, you got to check in with so-and-so when you get to the city.
Yeah.
Why are you making people check in with Karl Malone?
Literally.
I don't know, but let's get into everything with the All-Star Weekend. So, let's start with yesterday's game. Obviously, we had the All-Star Game draft. I thought it was funny that it was Nikola Jokic and Lauri Markkanen left on the board. And Jokic was like, bro, you're not picking me last. Let me just get up and walk my way over here. He was not trying to have that ego bruise getting picked last, but I guess Giannis and LeBron were just hating on the defending two-time MVP.
They was.
Yeah, they were, but... It's all good, I guess. Team Giannis defeated Team LeBron, so LeBron is no longer undefeated in All-Star games for what it's worth. I guess you can knock that off his GOAT resume, I guess. But, 184-175, not a lick of defense being played. And Nuggets head coach Karl Malone. I got Karl in my head now. Mike Malone, the better Malone, who also coached Team LeBron, called it the worst basketball game ever played post-game. Like, fresh out the game. So... there's the game. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but let me rattle off the rest of the weekend. How about Mac McClung? Only played in 2 NBA games total in his career, but the 2022 G League Rookie of the Year got it done, winning the dunk contest. Perfect 4 for 4 on the attempts and the successes on the dunks. Obviously coming off last year when we had missed dunk after missed dunk. After missed dunk. McClung got it done. Damian Lillard won the 3-point shooting contest, and I bring up the 3-point shooting contest to say this. Julius Randle, I get it. He was an injury replacement. He's not usually the guy you expect to be in a 3-point shooting contest, but he was catching so much slander. I know Draymond Green of all people, Julius doesn't belong here. Who are you talk?
Exactly. And Draymond was talking during the dunk contest, too. Like, one, you're not a 3-point specialist, and you're not banging out a windmill in game. You've never been that guy. They were. Can I say like PISSING on here?
No.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
You already spelled it out, so people know what you're talking about.
Well, they were upsetting me. I felt like the commentators were on everybody all night long. At least when it came to the dunk contest, I feel like they were killing the vibes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talk about Draymond Green. He's apparently too good to shoot threes. He's too good to go and do an actual slam dunk contest, but this is what he's good for.
What's up, everybody? It's Draymond Green. Make sure you subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel below so you don't miss any more of this great content.
See, listen, I'm not gonna lie, I'm good for a stutter every now and then on the radio, but this is pre-recorded. Draymond. Got everything to say, but hey, but all that being said, is the All-Star Game a cooked product like Mike Malone's talking about? The dunk contest, I know McClung put on a show, but you have guys saying the dunk contest is ruined. You have guys saying, the three-point shooting contest should be the most important event of the Saturday night stuff. And obviously the All-Star Game, I mean, you had Giannis play 20 seconds. Like, bro, if you're really that hurt, just draft your players and then let a guy like Jalen Brunson make the All-Star Game. Why are you only playing 20 seconds and be like, all right, peace, I'll be out? Doesn't make any sense. And then LeBron James hurt his hand apparently, suffered a contusion. He didn't play the second half. So you have all these stars playing, and they're not playing. I know, shout out Jason Tatum, who won the All-Star Game MVP with 55 points. Obviously, his name is Kobe Bryant. Jason Tatum's the biggest Kobe Bryant fan in the world. He definitely is. There's nobody close to Jason Tatum. But all that being said, the All-Star Game. Did you like the weekend? And if you didn't, is it a cooked product? Can it be saved? What are we thinking?
I barely watched any of it. I mean, from the three-point contest, I watched the most thing I watched was the dunk contest. I didn't even watch the skills challenge. Usually I watch all three, but I didn't go through with it. And I don't know if that was because I was just outside or whatever it was, but I watched the dunk contest and I thought it was pretty entertaining, except for Jericho Sims. I don't mean to throw him that straight, but when you go double honey dip, and then you come back and do a honey dip, but you put your full arm in there, I'll give him that. But still, come on, like you can get more creative than that. But other than that, props to Mac McClung. But I think the best part of All-Star Weekend was the Rising Stars game.
I like that. Obviously, you had Knicks Young and Quentin Grimes put on the show, hit the game winner, I believe, in the second half of that game. I mean, listen, the All-Star Game, we already know what it is. We had a couple better ones with the implementation of the Kobe Bryant rules, pretty much, where each team has a target score to reach at the end of the game. It makes it competitive at the end, at least. But, I mean, from the injuries I just talked about, it was a lot of guys missing from action. And just like Eric said, usually I'm tapped into the whole weekend. I mean, I feel like I'm the biggest NBA fan in the world. And it was just something missing. I don't know whether it was in Utah. Nobody cares about Utah. But I know I had a busy weekend, but even I made some time to try to watch everything. Sunday night, I watched like 10 minutes of the first quarter of the All-Star Game. I fell asleep. Like, there's nothing that's drawing me in about this game.
Yeah, I wasn't. Shoot, the last time I was psyched about the All-Star Game was a couple of years ago when Braun hit that fader for game. I feel like that was the last time I was entertaining an All-Star
That
weekend.
was the same game Steph dropped 50?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Like, I felt good about that All-Star weekend, but shoot, my highlight was the dunk contest and only Mac McClung. I mean, I like Trey Murphy's dunk with with Alvarado, the creativity. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, I can't really pick out a lot of moments that I was excited about during I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Jericho Sims. And I want to say that stray was well deserved because that was a terrible performance. And they were saying the New York favoritism. I believe it because they were giving Jericho Sims better score than he actually deserved. I don't know. Yeah, this All-Star break wasn't the best for me. I wasn't excited about it at all.
What was killing me about the Sims thing was he had that, I think it was his second dunk, where he put his arm in the rim and then picked up the card and took like 10 minutes to rip up.
Nobody reacted to the dunk.
Yeah, you seen that camera angle where he does the dunk and nobody gets out their seat?
Reacted.
Oh, man, Jericho. It's all good. I still love my Shy King with the Knicks. We got a caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, what's going on?
Hey, Josh, it's Justin. What's up, man?
What's up, Justin? How we doing?
I'm feeling inspired. We had the second ever white guy to win a dunk contest, so I'm thinking next year I might enter. But, speaking of the dunk contest, I think we should have a WHPC dunk contest, maybe on like an 8-foot rim or something. What do you think?
Who we think winning that?
Me.
Like he's the tallest hair.
Call this shot already. No hesitation. I respect it.
I'm going Rob Leonard or Michael Anthony. I don't know. But as far as the dunk contest goes, they have Karl Malone out there.
Oh, man.
And I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that whole situation, because it's not even allegedly. I mean, he impregnated a 13-year-old girl when he was 20 years old. Do you guys find it bizarre that they just allow him to be out there? I saw Bomani Jones talk about this recently on his show. But I don't know. I just feel like it's awkward that they turn a blind eye to certain things in the NBA, and they're very progressive with certain things. But whether it's the dealings with China or stuff like this, it just seems pretty sketchy. So, what do you guys think about that? That's
a great point. I mean, Karl Malone, and we were talking about it. Just the fact that you had him. Usually, when an All-Star game is in a specific city, like if it's in New York, you're going to honor Patrick Ewing. If it's in Miami, you're going to honor Dwayne Wade. Obviously, it's in Utah. Who's the greatest jazz man of all time? It's Karl Malone. But the fact that you're right, the NBA does pick and choose, and I don't know why they thought they probably going to forget about this. I don't know why they thought that strategy was going to work, but it clearly didn't. People were seeing Karl Malone on their TV screen like, why is this man here?
Yeah, that was like a slap in the face. I feel like somebody who's done something like that in their past, whether it's their past or not, I feel like certain things are just unforgivable. And that's one of them.
That's definitely one of them.
Like, what in your right mind ever made you think that was okay as a 20-year-old man? Like, you know better than to do something like that at a big grown age of 20. You know what I'm saying? They should have put anybody else who ever played for the Utah organization. Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, shoot, anybody but Karl Malone. John Stockton, y'all gonna put Karl Malone, bruh. That was such a vibe killer.
Stockton's done some weird stuff in recent years as well. So it's like the two Utah legends. I mean, they would have Jerry Sloan, but he's dead, so I don't know who they're going to get. But, yeah, I personally have an issue with the All-Star game. I know you guys are going to get into it more. I mean, I always like the dunk contest. Three-point contest is great. But, the lack of defense, I know they don't want to get injured. They're not going to play. But when the score is 185 to 175, it's unwatchable for me. So I don't know. Maybe next year they'll play defense, but I'll be listening to you guys for the rest of the show. So have a good one, boys.
You too.
Appreciate the call, Justin. If anybody else wants to join the conversation, that's 516-572-7440 to give your thoughts on just about anything. Right now, we are talking about All-Star Weekend, the All-Star Weekend that just was. I'm trying to pull up this quote from Karl Malone when he was asked about, obviously, the backlash from impregnating a 13-year-old girl at the age of 20. So I'll try to pull that up. Oh, here it is. So he said, he's asked about it. I don't know who asked the question, but, the Salt Lake Tribune. So this is what Karl had to say. I'm not discussing any of that backlash. I don't care. That's my life. That's my personal life. And I'll deal with that like I've had to deal with everything. So whatever.
Well,
so whatever, Karl. Just
you had almost about 30 years to really deal with it, and now you decide to come out and talk about it, and now you say you're going to deal with it. There's something wrong with that man up top. Like,
clearly, the track record speaks for itself.
Something's not connecting up there.
Did they go through with having that kid? I don't know all the full details.
You know what's crazy about that? So that kid is actually, he was a pretty, I don't know how good he was, but he was a pretty, in the spotlight football player.
Really?
I'm going to try him and see. But, yeah, that's what happened with that. He grew up and basically doesn't have Malone's name.
Oh, okay. I see him right here. Demetrius Bell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is.
He offensive tackle for the Buffalo Bills and the Eagles.
Wow, so he made the NFL.
He made the NFL. And obviously he doesn't have Malone's name, but man, imagine being the guy that's all the stuff we know about Karl Malone in this specific situation, and you're that guy. You have to go through life with that. It's a little weird to me.
I feel like that's some trauma to be on your mental, waking up every day knowing
that your daddy.
Biological daddy is a weirdo.
Hey, man.
You can't carry that name. I'm so glad he didn't.
Yeah, one of his sons did, KJ, but...
Yeah, I would have got my name changed. Real spill, man.
Without a doubt. I think we all agree with you there, but... You know, that's the All-Star game. That's the whole thing. Again, I don't know why it was in Utah. I hear they're trying to get it in like some other weird small market city. Like, stop with this. Stop with the whole thing. No, Toronto, Miami, Los Angeles, even Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta. Enough with the Salt Lake City and all this stuff.
Indiana.
Indiana?
Yeah. Another boring All-Star weekend. I'm not tuning in. I'm not.
This is what I like to call a hashtag Adam Silver's NBA. You know, I had some people on social media kind of reminiscing on David Stern when he was the commissioner. I mean, he ran his stuff a lot differently. People were talking about when he suspended Carmelo for 15 games, and he was telling Melo, "Hey, I know who you're hanging out with. Better tell him to stop." Like that was David Stern, and obviously, David Stern had the bright idea to put All-Star Weekend in the best cities in the world, not Salt Lake City. I don't know if we got anybody listening from Utah, but no, Indiana, no. I'm tired of it. We're gonna honor Reggie Miller. We gotta check in with Reggie Miller. Reggie?
Word. Huh. Especially because I'm a Knicks fan. Reggie could kick rocks.
Disgusting. But that's the All-Star game. We talked about the three-point contest. Let's go more in-depth about the dunk contest that Mac McClung won. Like Justin said, shout out to the Whites. That's the only time you'll hear me say it on the show. But, yeah, Mac McClung, guess what? Man can jump. He won it. Listen, there was a video of Channing Frye and Taylor Rooks reacting to the dunks. If you're getting her jaw to drop, I think you're doing pretty well for yourself. So I think Mac McClung definitely deserved that W, but some guys weren't too hype about it. And, Stephen A. Smith, he's always going to chime in on everything. Here's what he said, and here's who he blames for the dunk contest and where it is now.
There is one blemish that should be on LeBron James' career. He has ruined the slam dunk contest. He is personally responsible. That's right, I'm saying it.
He's saying it.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I get it.
Yeah, so he went on to explain that because for a long time you had the stars of the league really do the dunk contest and not think twice about it. Like, obviously, Dominique Wilkins, Michael Jordan, obviously, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, guys like that, they always consistently did the dunk contest. And so LeBron came along and, his famous lie in 2010, oh, yeah, I will be here next year. And then he didn't do any of the following years. So I get that part of what Stephen A. is saying, but to blame one guy about how guys can't make their dunks on their first attempt, that's a little much to me. But, I mean, John Morant, he said, I'm never doing the dunk contest. Zion Williamson, he's never healthy enough to do the dunk contest. But even if he was, I don't think he'd do it. The stars that we want to see playing in today's game, we're probably never going to see in the dunk contest. And I was watching First Take today. That's basically what Stephen A. was saying. If you want to trace it back to who's the first star that just flat out refused to do the dunk contest, it was LeBron James.
I don't see what's the issue, though. Like, I get, risk of injury? What is it? Or are they just too big for the dunk contest?
Yeah, so also they had Brian Windhorst on there who was slurping up LeBron for a while. But he's an objective ESPN commentator. Now, he was saying that back in LeBron's rookie season, so we know LeBron's played 20 seasons in the NBA. Mm-hmm. He's been a 19-time All-Star. He thought he should have been an All-Star in his rookie year, too, when he didn't make it. And I know Sprite, he obviously has a lot of stuff going on with Sprite. Windhorst was saying that Sprite pretty much begged him to do the dunk contest, and LeBron was like, nope, they don't want me to the All-Star game. I'm not going to do the dunk contest. So that was the grudge from his first year, and then he just never did it ever since. And I know Windhorst also said that there's a lot more risk. Like, the cons outweigh the pros when you're talking about doing it, because you could lose and then be a joke, oh, Michael Jordan won it. LeBron can't do it. Like, there's that, and there's also, I guess, the risk of injury. And also, LeBron, Windhorst said he did a high school when he was in St. Vincent St. Mary. He did a dunk contest with Shannon Brown as his competition, and apparently Shannon Brown smoked him. So LeBron's kind of had that insecurity about the dunk contest ever since, but I don't know. That's what they're saying.
My thing is, though, like, if you're a true basketball fan, you would never sit here and say a dunk championship is what's going to give somebody the edge over another player. This is all fun and games. This is entertainment for the fans. You know what I'm saying? This is nothing compared to an NBA championship. And LeBron has almost a handful of those. That's what really matters. Nobody's thinking about a slam dunk championship. This is just all for the people to come out and enjoy a good time and pure entertainment. So for players to feel away about that, if that is the case, I think it's pathetic if you ask me. Shoot, if I had the ability to jump through the roof and fans are coming out, I'm doing it. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do it a couple of years. I might not do it every year, but shoot, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's guys like Ja Morant that they too cool for it.
Yeah.
Talking about, I need a billion likes to do the dunk contest.
Like, who are you?
Aaron Gordon, I get, like, he got snubbed twice.
Yeah, that was disrespectful.
He tried to play himself in the All-Star game though. He said if I make the All-Star game, I'll be in the dunk contest. He tried to get them votes.
He tried. He definitely tried.
I ain't gonna lie, he had my vote. Come on, I need to see him in the dunk contest again.
That's what we call a man exercising his leverage. He's like, y'all really want to see me there? Get me there in the All-Star game. But you know what, Franz, you bring up guys' egos today. I mean, that's the number one thing I feel like the old players say about the new players today. It's like, man, they're fragile and they don't want to lose. They're scared to lose and everything else. I think there's something to LeBron saying, like, if I do the dunk contest, yeah, it'll be great if I win. But if I lose, then, people... And again, it's stupid because Jordan nut huggers are going to be like, oh, man, Jordan won it. Jordan did his thing in 88. Bron, where is it? Where's the trophy?
Yeah.
Why didn't you do it? So people are going to say that, but...
I think that's stupid.
It is, but, I mean, I guess LeBron doesn't want to deal with that.
It's dumb. But, yeah, players and their egos today, like, it really upsets me. Sometimes I wish, like, we didn't stray away from how things were conducted back in the day. Like, I think players are catered to a little too much nowadays. That's why they think they could take, like, 5-game breaks with no injuries. Like, they're just soft. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes as a athlete that played in the new generation, sometimes I find myself being soft. I'd be like, yo, what would Michael Jordan do or Kobe do back in the day? Like, toughen up, bro. And I feel like some of these guys lack that in today's game. And it really upsets me. I think people are too soft nowadays.
Speaking of soft current players, so a lot of people think that about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And they had some interesting thoughts on trade requests in the NBA. But before we move on to that, let me just quickly remind everybody that you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the Voice of Nassau Community College. 90.3 WHPC is Joshua Yamahi, joined by Eric Williams and Franz Compare. If you're listening to us on your traditional radio, I want to let everybody know that you can also listen to us stream WHPC on nccradio.org, the free iHeartRadio app, the free Odyssey app. That's Audacy, you knuckleheads. Spell it right. It's not Odyssey, it's Odyssey, Audacy. Also, the TuneIn app, nccradio.org. I think I already said that. And the WHPC app. I know we're a community college, but apparently we had an app in the budget. So if you don't want to go through all the trouble of searching for us on those websites, just download the WHPC app and listen to us talk about sports and all that, and all the other stuff on 90.3 WHPC. But let's move on. So what started this topic off, was Adam Silver, the commissioner, hashtag Adam Silver's NBA. He was basically talking about trade requests. He was asked about, are trade requests good for the game? And this is what Humpty Dumpty Slender Man had to say about it.
Well, that's very different than a so-called demand for a trade. I think that, in fact, Players Association has agreed with us in our current collective bargaining agreement. There are rules against making public trade demands. So that, and I've said that many times before, I think that's a bad thing. I think it's corrosive to the system. Certainly fans don't like it, and even lots of players don't like it as well, because ultimately they may be going to a particular team under belief that player is still going to be there. So, and as my colleague Joe Dumars has pointed out to me many times, lots of players a long time have behind the scenes asked for trades, but they haven't been accommodated because ultimately the teams have concluded that's not in their interest.
Called it corrosive to the system. Now, if you heard, Adam Silver was basically talking about, if you want to do a private trade request, like do it behind closed doors, that's all well and good. But the fact that everybody's making it public, like Kyrie made his public, KD made his public in the offseason, and then made it in private when he got traded to Phoenix. But That's basically. I mean, I don't know. I'll just throw the question to y'all. Actually, no. Before I do, let me give Kyrie and Katie, since we brought them up, let me give their responses on Adam Silver saying that trade requests are corrosive to the system. Here's what Kyrie had to say.
What's a bad situation, and why doesn't anybody have the ability to ask for trades? That's my question. It's just, when did it become terrible to make great business decisions for yourself and your happiness and your peace of mind? Not every employer you're going to get along with. So if you have a chance to go somewhere else and you're doing it legally, then I don't think there's a problem with it.
One thing about Kyrie, he's always going to promote being zen and being happy and prioritizing your happiness. I respect that. But here's what Kevin Durant had to say about what Adam Silver said.
I don't think it's bad for the league. It's bringing more eyes to the league. More people are more excited. The tweets that I got and the news hits that we got from me being traded, Kyrie being traded, just bring more attention to the league. And that's really what makes you money, is when you get more attention. So I think it's great for the league, to be honest. Teams been trading players and making acquisitions for a long time. Now when a player can, kind of dictate where he wants to go and leaving free agency or demand a trade, it's just part of the game now. So I don't think it's a bad thing. It's bringing more and more excitement to the game.
A question just popped in my head. Is Kevin Durant the biggest or the greatest NBA player to ever be traded midseason? He has to be, right?
Yeah.
He has to be.
Yeah.
Next up would probably be like Carmelo Anthony, but Kevin Durant's like, we've never seen a move like this where Brooklyn, the 4th seed in the East, by the way, they were a contender before all this happened. Kevin Durant shipped to Phoenix next week. So there's that. I mean, you heard it all. Adam Silver says it's corrosive to the system to demand a trade if you're a superstar. Kyrie's like, guys should be happy. I want guys to be happy. And then Kevin Durant's like, it's good for the league. I guess all attention, bad or good, is attention for the NBA. That's what he's basically saying. Bringing more eyes to the league, more excitement. Kevin Durant's phone was blowing up. I mean, Twitter, Woj and Shams were going crazy with the updates. So here's the question. Simple. Are public trade requests good or bad for the NBA?
Listen, I don't think it's bad. I think the reason why this is even brought up is because of the way KD and Kyrie have gone about this whole situation, which makes people sit here and ask this question, is it bad? Because plenty of people probably feel backstabbed in what happened. I seen a freaking post about Kyrie where he's talked about, I'm going to stay with this organization for like these past couple of years. And he always ends up leaving in the end. I think what it truly is, it's about the morals. Like, if it's because Kyrie, you remember how we were talking about it and you were saying how Nets owner offered Kyrie a deal saying, you bring us a chip, we give you that contract that you want.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. And Kyrie felt the way about that. That's the problem right there. I think instead of feeling a way about that, just win the chip. Like, make it a chip on your shoulder, get into grind mode, and bring the organization that you've been screwing over for the past couple years a chip. Shoot, it might feel like a slap in the face, but bro, just take it as a challenge. You guys are contenders. It's so selfish for you to get up and leave an organization behind because you feel a certain way about something. And then shoot, KD's just like, all right, you're gone, so I'm gone. Like, that's mad soft. And I think that's why people are looking at these things as, now it's bad for the league, because two superstars who fiddle with that little thing, down there, they fiddle with that little thing when they're hurt, and then they leave a situation when it gets a little rough. That's the problem right there, and that's why people think it's bad. Well, I don't think it's bad. I just think they're going about these things so wrong. They want to leave when things get hard.
I agree with that, and I'll piggyback off that. I think that public trade requests, if it's KD and Kyrie, a situation like that, it's bad for the NBA. Because you have two superstars, two of the most talented players in the NBA. Actually, that's a disservice to say that. Two of the most talented players in NBA history had a team that was the 4th seed. Shoot, they had just won 18 out of 20 games.
Exactly.
That stretch. So basically, because of contract situation and whatever, Kyrie wants out, and then KD follows him. I think that's definitely weak. But if you have a situation like DeMarcus Cousins in Sacramento, or a player that's just been spat on and disrespected all the way down the line with a franchise,
that's a different story.
Completely different story. But if you want to be a front runner like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, so be it. That's definitely bad for the league. But we'll see what the caller has to say. Caller, you're on WHPC Sports Talk. What's going on? What you want to talk about?
Yeah, hi, this is Charlie from Flow Park.
What's up, Charlie? What's up?
You're talking about contracts, and the commissioner and the owners should be ashamed of themselves. These players sign crazy money contracts. Those are legally binding documents. All you have to say is, no, we're not going to trade you. Honor your contract, and let's lawyer up, go to court. You don't want to play, we don't pay you, and then we're going to get you for breach of contract. They've catered to these guys. Of course they're going to do what they're doing if they can get away with it. Of course. I mean, for the commissioner to get up there and knock it, it's ludicrous.
Yeah, it's funny. That's kind of like the thing about skating accountability as the commissioner. I mean, all the stuff with the owners and everything just bending over for these players is going under your watch.
It's ludicrous. Does any other sport allow this? I've never seen a baseball player demand a trade.
Well, the situation that comes in my mind comparing league to league, and obviously NBA has the most player movement, is the NFL. Remember when Deshaun Watson demanded a trade?
In the middle of a season.
We saw what went on with him, and basically the Texans were like, before all that stuff came out, like, no, why would we trade a top 5 quarterback in the league? Why would we do that?
Why would anyone trade Kevin Durant with this incredible contract? He's the best. When he plays, he's as good as it gets. I'm not letting him go. I'm saying, sorry, dude, you're going to play. Or you're going to sit and we don't pay you and we lawyer up. I don't get it.
I mean, maybe the Nets were just over it. They had 4 years of nothing but drama, and then Kyrie wants out, and they're looking at KD like, yo, we would love to keep you, but, I mean, let's just be done with it. Let's just both wash our hands of the situation. I guess that's what happened, but I don't know. If it comes down to trading Kevin Durant or keeping Kevin Durant.
And you can't get equal value. How are you going to get equal value for Kevin Durant? You can't.
Impossible. And I know Mikal Bridges had a 45-point game, and they have some nice young pieces on that roster now.
And Kyrie, for that matter. I mean, incredibly skilled players.
Yeah, I think the Nets took a loss on investment on both trades.
Oh, they got killed.
Yeah.
That is, I've been reading the papers, that is considered, what happened with the Nets, the greatest disaster in the history of sports. You can't find a bigger screw-up. You just can't.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, and that's why you're with the good guys now, Charlie. You're with the Knicks.
Yes,
what are we, like 3-0 when Josh Hart plays?
Come on now.
All right.
Can't wait till MSG comes back on TV.
I'm with the good guys. Hey, keep up the good work, gentlemen.
Appreciate the call, Charlie, as always. That's Charlie from Floral Park. Once again, if you want to join the conversation too, 516-572-7440. I think Charlie brought up a lot of good points. I mean, like we were saying, if it's a situation where a player is he gets drafted to somewhere, I mean, I'm going to stay with the DeMarcus Cousins example, and then I'll go to another one I think y'all will find interesting. So DeMarcus Cousins, he has no choice where he's going to get drafted. Sacramento Kings, not when they're the Kings they are now. I'm talking the garbage Sacramento Kings with terrible ownership, terrible management, terrible coaching. He goes there, puts up numbers as an all-star multiple times, and he's like, no, I want out. That's perfectly fine to me. I mean, he gave it his all in Sacramento, played the games he had to play. Like Kyrie said, it wasn't working for him anymore. He wasn't happy, so he demanded out. That's fine. Carmelo Anthony, too, in Denver. Now, here's where his situation is. It looks a lot better in hindsight than the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving stuff, because Carmelo Anthony made the playoffs every single year in Denver. Every single season, he was a Denver Nugget. He made the playoffs, which is disrespectful. They gave Jokic his number. Yeah. But whatever. Let's move along. So he says he wants to be in New York. Denver's like, all right. I mean, we're offering you a contract extension. Obviously, you don't like it in Denver anymore. But Melo says, and he said on a podcast, I think it was All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, goes against the entire narrative that was against Carmelo Anthony back then, because the narrative that was going on back then was, oh man, this guy really wants out of Denver. He's, taking a crap on a small market to be in New York. Like, look at this guy. But he said he never wanted to leave Denver.
Yeah.
The team was like, let's just wash our hands of the situation, see if we can get equal value or close to it and move on. So that's an important thing too. When these organizations are like Charlie said, they don't have to trade him. But sometimes it's not always the players. It's the organization that's like, we're kind of done with this guy, or, this might be the best for both worlds or definitely benefit us. Let's move on. So I think there's a lot more nuance to it than what Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are giving credit for, but public request good or bad for the NBA? Depends.
Yeah.
I hate to split the middle, but it definitely depends. I don't know what else to say. You know, Kyrie's in Dallas, Kevin Durant's in Phoenix. Obviously, the Western Conference is going to go nuts out of the All-Star break. Speaking of the Western Conference in the NBA, the Clippers.
Oh, yes.
So Russell Westbrook agrees to a contract buyout with the Utah Jazz, and the Clippers wasted no time in picking him up. He's reunited with Paul George. Obviously, they were great teammates together in OKC. What do we think of that move in the Western Conference with the Clippers?
Everybody seems to love it. I seen something like the Clippers are 5th in rankings to like 5th in favorites to win the chip this year, just off a Westbrook move. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a move for the Clippers, but shoot, I could be wrong.
We'll see how it works out. I mean, it's definitely a risk whenever you think about Russell Westbrook and his lack of ability to shoot, but the Clippers did need a point guard, so there you go. Also, lesser buyout news. I hate to be disrespectful to a champion, but Kevin Love agreed to a buyout with the Cavs. He's now a member of the Miami Heat with, I didn't know this man was still in the league, but Cody Zeller. Both with the Miami Heat.
Like, the name the name Zeller rings a bell, I think, from like a 2K showcase when I was in my career. Can't really put the face to the name, though. That's crazy.
Cody and Tyler Zeller.
Cody, exactly. They're brothers. Yeah, so they're in Miami, so good for them. Good for them. Let's move on to the NFL, though. France, your New York Giants.
Yo.
Daniel Jones is throwing them a curveball.
Don't even get me started.
So the big news that broke this morning was Daniel Jones switching agents. And with that, he reportedly wants significantly more than what the Giants are currently offering. And the number, according to Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, who's been on a roll lately, I mean, he predicted the whole Sean Payton thing. So I trust his info. Reportedly, he's seeking $45 million per year. Daniel Jones.
I don't know why he's making this situation harder than it already is. Like, bro, you know what type of year you're coming off of. We took progressive steps, but still, you act like you just leaded us to a championship with a dominant season. Now you're making me regret defending you, because for you to ever come out your jaw and ask for $45 million is pretty laughable. It's like, what are you thinking? I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know how he thinks this is going to benefit the organization for him to ask for them to bring out the Brinks trucks. I think he's out of his rabbit mind.
His rabbit-ass mind.
Yeah.
Before I get to my thoughts on it, let's hear from ESPN's Jeff Darlington, who summed it up pretty well on ESPN earlier today.
Now, it was explained to me, you mentioned the agent change. That has nothing to do necessarily with the ongoing negotiations, but it does sort of set the clock back to zero on those talks. They will start those talks with Daniel Jones now. They have already begun talks with Saquon Barkley, although I am told there's still a gap there in where they need to get. So essentially, the Giants will spend this coming month talking to the reps of both guys, see where they can get, and then March 7th, they'll probably look at it and say, all right, which guy's taking the deal? Both of you can take the deals. One of you can take the deal, and we will tag the other. And suddenly, there's a little bit of a leverage game going on with the Giants, Saquon Barkley, and Daniel Jones.
So there you have it, and Darlington brings up something interesting in terms of how this impacts Saquon Barkley. Because if the Giants franchise tag Daniel Jones with this crazy request of $45 million per year, that's probably where it's going to head. Can't tag Saquon Barkley then. So he might hit the open market and you might risk losing him. So, I mean, I'm looking at the average annual value for quarterback contracts. So Patrick Mahomes makes $45 million per year.
Like, come on, bro.
Josh Allen makes $43 per year. Now, you can debate, I guess, Giants fans, if you want to debate this. Kirk Cousins, $35 million. Dak Prescott, $40 million. Matt Stafford, $40 million. So he wants to be kind of in that range. I think that's the range he ends up in. But $45 million, I mean, he said it. Darlington said it. You just heard it. The leverage game is definitely in play here. But if you're the New York Giants, what are you doing with both players? Because you got to tread lightly. You don't want to just prioritize one and risk losing the other.
Yeah, I feel you. I totally feel you. You don't want to end up in a situation where you're looking like the New York Jets. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't look to anybody for that quarterback position. And shoot, Daniel Jones is not a terrible quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback, and he's going to continue to be a good quarterback in the league. But at the $45 million price tag, absolutely not as of right now. So I would focus more on Saquon, but like you said, you don't want to put too much focus on one guy and let the other guy slip through your fingers. So it is a sticky situation, but when you say a guy like Kirk Cousins is making $35 million, and then you're saying a guy like Daniel Jones is asking for $45, like, what world are we living in where Daniel Jones is asking for $45 and Kirk is making $35? Daniel Jones should look at this market that we're looking at and say, all right, let me be more realistic. Me and Kirk are going to be twins. Both of y'all are going to have $35 million. Because why? I don't understand where $45 million came from. Shoot, Kirk had better numbers than you, and he makes $35, and you want more than him? I don't understand.
Call this man Daniel Jones Vanilla Vic one time, and he's like, $45 million me.
Literally.
I guess. I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to read off Daniel Jones' stats. So, passing, 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns in 16 games. Just saying. 5 picks. For his career, 60 touchdowns and 34 picks. That's a good TD interception ratio. I'm trying to find his rushing numbers right now. Career high 708 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. So that's value that Dak Prescott and Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins aren't bringing on the ground. I guess that's his argument.
Yeah.
Like I'm a good enough passer, and I'm damn near, or I'm for damn sure a better runner than the guys that would be in that kind of range that I'm asking for. But let me just reiterate, this is why this is ridiculous. Now, if you want to say Kirk money at 35, cool. Even if you want to say Prescott money, I mean, that's your division rival. People are a little down on Dak Prescott. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
You want Pat Mahomes money?
That's weird.
Pat Mahomes money. 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time league MVP money. That's what Daniel Jones wants?
Give it to him.
Of course you want to give it to him.
I'm tired of hearing you, Eric.
Give it to him.
Stop.
I mean, listen. The Giants, like you said, Franz, it's a interesting situation. If I'm them,
what do you even do? Like,
I think you have to understand if you're the Giants front office, and obviously Joe Schoen is a smart guy. You got to understand that this is obviously leverage at play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Daniel Jones wants to fire his agent, switch to a new one. Yeah, he wants $45 million per year. If I'm Joe Schoen, I mean, Charlie just said it with the trades, with the owners. If I'm Joe Schoen,
drop the hammer.
I'm like, nah. Daniel, let's be real. Let's think about things for a second. If there's a team that would, this is why it's so funny, because if there's a team that would give Daniel Jones $45 million on the open market,
they're probably a bad team.
That's a bad team. And if you're the Giants, I know you don't want to lose Daniel Jones, but if $45 million per year, you got to be like, oh, feel free to leave for that. If we're not giving you that, feel free to get that wherever you want to go.
That makes sense, because as an owner, when you really think about it, what team in the league is going to say, Daniel Jones, $45 million? That's a steal. Nobody. So, like you said, there's leverage that the Giants could use, because it's like, Daniel, be for real. We will let you walk right now. Watch you come crawling back to us.
That's what's gonna happen. Now it's risky, but that's the card I think the Giants have to play.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it too. Derek Carr, just the Raiders couldn't trade him because no team wanted to take on him at $40 million. So I don't understand how in Daniel Jones' right mind, or whatever his new agent is right mind, maybe it's his family influencing him. We don't know, but you're not even more valuable than Derek Carr, I don't think. I think Derek Carr's a better quarterback than you.
It's an established veteran.
Yeah.
He's struggling.
Man, and people want to talk about what the Jets are going to do. Maybe Daniel Jones, if he really wants $45 million, if the Jets want to be stupid enough and desperate enough at the quarterback position to give Daniel Jones 45 M's, if you're a Giants fan, you just got to eat that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll find the guy in the draft, maybe. That was the plan before the start of the season. That's why the Giants turned down Daniel Jones' fifth-year option when they had a chance to pick it up. They pretty much wanted Daniel Jones to prove it, and he did prove it to an extent. He won a playoff game. That's big time for an NFL quarterback, but if I'm Joe Shea, I'm laughing today. Like, y'all really think
literally
I'm gonna give this man 45 M's?
Literally.
Like, do you know who I am?
But he's
thinking right now.
He's gonna finesse the situation. I'm not worried about it. He's gonna finesse the situation.
Yeah, he's definitely a smart guy coming from Buffalo, so I trust him in that sense. But Saquon Barkley, I mean, I know the quarterback position is more important, but Saquon Barkley is the leader, the emotional leader of your football team.
Literally.
I mean, and especially with the way the Giants season went, you finally established a good culture, not the Dave Gettleman BS culture, not the Bob McAdoo culture. Ben McAdoo, sorry, shout out Bob McAdoo, Clippers legend. But you don't have that culture anymore. You established something with the New York Giants, and Saquon Barkley, with his play on the field and his leadership off the field, was a huge part of that. I'm thinking if I'm a Giants fan and if I'm in the Giants organization, I gotta prioritize keeping that culture going. I can't lose Saquon Barkley this offseason.
You can't.
Because I don't think there's a team that's going to step up and be like, we're giving him 16 M's per year, because that's where the Giants don't want to go. But if it's for 13, 14, Saquon Barkley's got to come back. If you're a Giants fan, obviously you want to see him back for that reason, I would think. Still got some time on the show. You can call up if you disagree or want to co-sign that. But, man, I'm thinking about the NFC East now, and I know the NFL season literally just ended, but I compare kind of the Giants season, and please correct me if I'm wrong, or because I think it's kind of an out there take. I don't know, because think about the Eagles last year. The Eagles went 9-8. They snuck their way into the playoffs, and they didn't win a playoff game, but because of Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, that was a crazy blowout, and the Eagles didn't have a chance. But the Eagles made the right moves. They had cap space, used it wisely. Use a trade market wisely, getting the league leader in picks from the Saints, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, bringing Hassan Reddick, bringing guys like that to kind of fill the margins. And Jalen Hurts, you put all your trust in him, and he has a bounce-back year. That's another contract, too, that we're going to be talking about coming up soon. Jalen Hurts.
They're going to have to pay that, man.
And, I mean, Mahomes is at 45, Deshaun at 46, Kyler at 46. If I'm Jalen, give me 50.
Deshaun's at 46?
Yeah, the Browns.
That's funny.
Hey, 46 mil for lotion, boy. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the highest at 50. Wow. If I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm like, yeah, you can argue about giving me Mahomes money, but you can say some would say I outduel Pat Mahomes on the biggest stage. And I'm a more dynamic runner, and I'm a damn good passer too. So you might have to make me the highest paid quarterback in the league.
That wouldn't be crazy.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Now, Daniel Jones, he needs to be listening right now, because we're making valid points. You didn't do what Jalen Hurts did.
No, not even close.
And I feel like even if he was behind that Eagles O-line in the Super Bowl, he wouldn't still do what Jalen Hurts did. So when you really think about what you should be receiving when that direct deposit hits, it shouldn't be what Jalen Hurts is getting. Like, be for real, bro. It doesn't make sense. And I think he just needs to, if he is a real football player that wants to win a Lombardi trophy, he needs to buy into the program, because I guarantee you, Ayuk or Higgins, free agency, will be in a Giants uniform. Just buy in. Just buy in, Daniel. Just buy in for the future, and we're going to put you in that position to add that ring on your resume.
That's a great point. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Just buy in. That's all you got to do.
Because if you're Daniel Jones, I know this is your big break and it's your second contract. Second contract in the NFL is a big deal. It means you did your job, and obviously the league sees value in you. But if you're Daniel Jones and it's like, I can ask for $45 million and not have any weapons to throw to, I can deal with Darius Slayton again and all that.
Exactly.
Or you can bring in a T. Higgins or an Ayuk or somebody. There are some receivers on this market that might be available in free agency or trade. So if you're Daniel Jones, you got to think about that too. If you want to build off your cachet of being the New York Giants starting quarterback, you're going to need weapons to do it.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been different if he was that guy when he came in the league. Then the second contract, we're like, okay, this is that guy. We know we need him. But last time he was that guy was at Duke. All right, this is not Duke anymore. So you're not about to come in here big stepping into a front office asking for $45 million. No, I think what you should do is receive Kirk Cousins' money, be grateful that God made you go to the NFL and you can support your family, buy in, win a trophy, and live happily ever after. Once you win the trophy, then you ask for some big money. Or once you put up Pro Bowl season, then you could ask for the big money. But bro, you literally haven't done anything spectacular for people to say, hey, we're gonna give you Patty Mahomes money.
Wait. What trophy are we talking about?
Please, Eric, not with the negative energy,
What
bro.
trophy are we talking about?
A Super Bowl, bro. You already know I already said I got high hopes for my Giants in these next 5 years. Once the 5-year marker's up, even before the 5-year marker's up, we might be Super Bowl contenders. I'm calling it right now. For those of you guys who are listening, Eric couldn't give me a solid reason why the Giants won't be real contenders in the next 5 years. He's just hating from the bottom of his heart.
Daniel Jones?
That's all he's going to say. But Daniel Jones has done nothing but improved. How can you hate on a man that's improving? How?
I don't think Eric's sold over there. I think he's...
He's not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right. Listen, I think the Giants, and this is the point I was making, if they nail the offseason like the Eagles did, I'm not
telling you.
I'm not saying
Thank you, Josh. Inform him.
I'm not saying they're going to make the Super Bowl, but
They're not going to have a lot of cap space to do that.
I mean, obviously, they got to bring back Jones and Barkley, but
yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of draft picks, too. I don't know. I think there's a path for the Giants to get to real contention. But, Daniel Jones can't do it by himself. He's got to have to wise up and be like, 45 mil? That's not me.
Yep.
I'm not that guy.
And we about to scoop Addison from USC on a rookie contract, too. Watch him. Watch him. We about to scoop him.
Hey, it's almost NFL draft season, so
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. We need to do another live show from we did it from the Irish Poet last year. We did our little mock draft. I'm trying to get there again. I'm putting the word out there. I'm putting the message out there early, Sean. But let's move on. So I wanted to get to this former Jets and Bills head coach, Sexy Rexy. Rex Ryan interviews for Broncos defensive coordinator position.
I think that would be ideal.
Good move?
I think so. Rex Ryan knows what he's talking about when it comes to football.
Almost.
Why you say almost?
Just almost. Because there's certain times when he's on these shows and he sounds like a real hater.
You think so?
Yes.
You sounded like a hater a couple minutes ago.
No, I did not. How?
Okay.
I didn't even say nothing like...
Go ahead.
No, Rex Ryan, he's up there with Shady McCoy when he's talking about the Cowboys. It's a whole lot of Dak is ass.
Ass.
Yeah. It's no respect. And I think he only does that because we fired his brother like years ago.
Bro, you're just a hurt Cowboys fan.
It's nothing for me to be hurt about.
That's what's going on here. You got beef with Rex Ryan. But I think it's a great move. You don't think it's a good move?
It's been a few years since he put that headset on.
You're right. But shoot, once you get put back in your zone, it's going to start coming like this. He'll be all right.
I agree with that.
But he got a big mess to clean up.
Yeah. So, damn, Daniel Hackett. God bless the Jets, man. God bless the Jets. Damn. So, more NFL news to get to. Y'all know of a Jim Bob Cooter?
Who? Weird name. I've seen the alert.
Yeah, Jim Bob Cooter, the Colts offensive coordinator.
Who is that?
I mean, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page now. Broncos offensive assistant, Lions offensive assistant, Jets, Jaguars. Oh, he got arrested for a DUI in 2006. Yo, Wikipedia doesn't forget anything. Wikipedia, they're not afraid to dig up some old history. But yeah, Jim Bob Cooter.
Looking at the mugshot right now.
Jim Bob Cooter's mugshot?
Yeah. You want to see it?
Sure. That he looks like a Jim Bob Cooter.
He does.
He fit the face fits the name. Any final thoughts, y'all, before we head out of here? Get ready for tomorrow's show.
Praying for any Colts fans out there. When I went to Dallas when we played the Colts, there was a lot of sad Colts fans. There was a lot of Colts fans that felt optimistic about getting a win that night. I just felt bad for them because when the game ended, 54-19.
How did they get outscored in the fourth quarter? Can you refresh my memory?
So there was a fumble, and then I believe there was a Pollard scored a touchdown, and Malik Davis scored a touchdown. So there's that, and then it was like 33 fourth quarter points. I think they threw a pick Matt Ryan definitely threw a pick. Yeah, that's how that went.
Damn. Let me look that up, actually, because I'm interested. So the Colts, obviously, they blew that 33-0 lead to the Vikings. Man, Jeff Saturday had a rough... I don't think that man's seeing any more coaching opportunities.
Yeah, we thought he was him at first.
At first, he had that nice little win against the Raiders. And Josh McDaniels looks crazy for that, by the way. But yeah, I don't think if you're getting 33-0 in the fourth quarter by the Cowboys and you blow a 33-point lead to Kirk Cousins, I don't know.
It's crazy.
So there you go. But they have the Eagles guy now. What's his name? Steichen? I mean, you don't got Jalen Hurts over there.
It's better than Jeff Saturday.
It's better than Jeff Saturday. Maybe the Colts make a move for a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud or something that Steichen can work with. But you know what? The point still remains, it's not Jalen Hurts over there. So there we go. I think we're going to call it a show for today. From France Compare and Eric Williams, this is Joshua Yamahi signing off. We thank you once again for listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College. 90.3 WHPC.